Friends, welcome to video 15 and I am addressing this question, are coaching classes necessary? Today practically coaching classes are taken for granted. As a part of my own personal experience, I went for coaching classes only for CA entrance exam, and those coaching classes are also not private coaching classes. I went for coaching classes to NM College of Commerce in Villeparle West. That was way back in 1979. However, as I had shared in one of my earlier videos, I perhaps am the only person in Institute of Chartered Accountants history. This is just my conjecture. I'm not 100% sure about it. But I'm one of those unique characters who failed in the first attempt of CA entrance exam, but got a rank in both inter and final. So that was the only exam for which I went for coaching classes, and thereafter all the 4 professional exams that I have taken, in none of the levels I went for oral coaching. I studied by myself. So I clearly found that I was able to cope up with the studies irrespective of the difficulty level. But I do understand that sometimes people do need coaching of some sort. So let me address that part in later slides. So as I mentioned, today practically it has become indispensable part of the study. Anybody who enrolls for a professional exam straight goes for classes. There are clearly certain advantages of going for classes. Those people have expertise, they have done it for many years. They are able to give you ready answers to difficult issues. They ensure that you do writing practice because they will give you tests and so on, or they will get problems solved in the class. So these are clearly advantages. What are the disadvantages? The major disadvantage is that we stop thinking. The student gets into a spoon feeding mode. Everything has to be taught. Only then I would learn. There is no thinking opportunity. And this is not too good for long term, because once we get into a spoon feeding habit, when we get into professional life, there's not going to be anybody spoon feeding us. We got to do our own research, we got to understand the issue, and that ability to think unfortunately doesn't get developed when you start going for coaching, which almost becomes mechanical. The other challenge that I have found when I've interacted with some of the students who continuously failed was when I asked them how were the problems solved in the coaching classes, the answer was that whenever any particular topic was finished, all the possible questions pertaining to that topic were solved in the class. Now, what happens is that suppose there are 20 different questions. You start solving them in the coaching class one after the other, or at home one after the other. What happens is the marginal utility of the incremental effort that you're putting in is becoming less and less. Another problem is that once you start solving problem of one particular topic one after the other, it becomes mechanical. It becomes very predictable what the next problem is going to be. Yet you're investing time to solve that problem without commensurate benefit. This is one problem that I have consistently noticed when I have interacted with students. As I had mentioned in the video pertaining to problem solving related topic, I had mentioned that you should always have variety of problems, not one type of problem or problems on one topic one after the other. Then you're not really tested. You are investing time in terms of study, but it's not giving you a great rate of return. So the question then asked is, if coaching classes is not the best answer, what is the alternative? The alternative, I would say, is the best alternative is self-study, because that's when you are thinking about the subject, that's when you build your own study, you build your own story, and you'll be confident in the exam. On the other hand, you get into a coaching class kind of a mindset. In your professional life also, you're going to expect somebody else to coach you. But that's not always the case. So you will never be a self-starter in that case. One alternative which exists is that it is always possible that you may have some difficulties in certain topics, or within a topic also some section of that topic may be difficult to understand. Now, you can always take selective help. You can pay for the service. You can even engage the services of a chartered accountant who may have already passed a year earlier or a couple of years earlier, so he or she knows the subject, and you can offer honorarium for their service. The other thing I would say is that today there is explosion of information. Any topic you can get free videos, you can get a lot of resources on the web. So there is no need for somebody to spoon feed you. Now, at younger level, yes, coaching classes also instill certain amount of discipline in terms of study. But as you have already matured to a certain level of a professional exam, that should be self-imposed discipline. We don't have to look for a coaching class to impose discipline on us. So therefore, I would say that we should definitely explore alternatives rather than jumping into the coaching class, because you're also going to invest and spend a lot of time in commuting, and you may not have sufficient time to do your own preparation, which is absolutely vital. As I have explained in the revision recall techniques, quizzing, etc., you need. So, friends, I hope you got some insights from my way of thinking. Do press subscribe button to get notifications about many useful videos. And the success mantra for professional exam playlist can also be added to your library. You may even like to share it with others. Thank you.